Hey friends, it's night 7 of the Spring Goddess portal, the Basanti Durga Puja. And I've got another really misunderstood goddess to introduce you to tonight. Her name is Dhumavati. And she is appearing to us as a crone. She's an elder, she's a grandmother, she's a wise woman. She can often be described as a widow. I'm going to try to explain a little bit of this. And she's wildly misunderstood. Again, in this sweet Ma Dhumavati art style, this folk art style. Her face is so sweet here, but her face can be a little bit scary. She also has fangs, and she smiles and she cackles. She's riding a chariot made of bones. And one of the things that's missing here is the chariot is being pulled by 2 crows. That's her mount, or 2 crows. And she's carrying something important here. We could call that a winnowing basket. So the crows are represented up here in the flag, but literally they're pulling the cart. And they also look a bit scary. And she's not wearing any adornments. Her hair is dry. Her skin is dry. She's not aesthetically beautiful. This is not Chinnamasta in her dynamic style. But this winnowing basket, so when you want to separate the hull of a grain, like a grain of rice, has a hard outer shell. You can't eat that. And so this basket has this sifting and shaking motion, and the friction from the movement against the weave of the basket and the grain will separate the grain from the hull. Very important analogy. Those grains, that's our karmas. And this fine lady, she's got a very important job to do. While she doesn't have appeal or even sex appeal like some of the other goddesses do, she is very important in the syllabus of practice, what she represents. Dhumavati means the smoky one. The concept of her being a widow, if we're going to look at the Dasha Mahavidyas from various points in history, you've got a hard line drawn in the sand where the patriarchal influences took over and changed the narratives around the Dasha Mahavidyas. The whole set of goddesses represents so many different things. I don't have enough time to explain it to you in like 8,000 of these short videos. But we could take a few years and just keep digging and going through it and taking round after round and seeing what we discover, right? The Dasha Mahavidyas represent stages of womanhood. So you can look at all of them, even from who we haven't met just yet, but Ma Kamala, Ma Tangi, they're much younger versions, even Shodashi Tripura Sundari, 16 years old. So we're starting from prepubescent, moving through adolescence, then we move through various stages of life, times where one may choose to walk a fertility journey, the various stages of that, then into these like churn it out, busted out career years, these nurturing, my favorite, the sandwich years, where you're sandwiched between elder care and the care of younger people. Yes, so much fun. And also the perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal, andropause, right? And then what about the wise woman, the Wiccan, the witch, the sorceress? There is so much associated with Dhumavati, it's kind of crazy. But because of the Vedic patriarchal influence, because she is a Shakti without a Shiva, she's well beyond the construct of Shiva Shakti. She's witnessing the birth and the dissolution of the universe. She is the smoky essence that is the whisper of the witness consciousness, the universal witness consciousness. So another name for her is Dhumrakali. She is a resounding, powerful goddess of the realm of pure consciousness, except she's the witness to the pure consciousness. It's so deep. It's so subtle. And so her being without a Shiva means she's quite lesser than in that patriarchal lens, right? What's her purpose if she's not procreating, if she's not desirable, if at least bare minimum she's not a temptress, right? So we have to go back. We have to go back to the indigenous meaning of her iconography, of her presence. A very common archetype, which actually has its origins in Greek traditions for the divine feminine or these stages of womanhood, super simple in a cosmology of threes, is maiden, mother, crone. Crone is an extremely important stage of womanhood. In Native American sense, we talk about the grandmother's lodge. But you don't have to be an elder necessarily to be in the grandmother's lodge. Your entry into the grandmother's lodge is you no longer have a bleed. So what about those bodies who have hysterectomies at age 25, right? Yeah, they're in the grandmother's lodge, right? They're like quick shot to the pathway of elderhood and some of the stages in between. It's rather fractal in its experience. Dhumavati is not everybody's cup of tea. I have gotten to know her, and I have found her to be such a compassionate and loving mother. But for the majority of people, she's scary. She's powerful, because if you want to completely cross the shore to the other side, from samsara to nirvana, you're going to have to sift and sort out all of your karmas. You're going to have to get into the naked truth. You are going to have to get uncomfortable. It's not everybody's cup of tea. It's not everybody's aspiration. But she's a powerful mother to have in your corner if you do feel that deep call to surrender. She's a powerful grandmother. Hey, check it out. This is her yantra. We see a lot of smoky color here in this yantra. I'm going to share a little bit on the significance of the colors and the shapes here. So the bupur is a smoky gray or dark bluish, purplish green. That's a deep color. It's the color of hatred. But we have to understand here that hatred is it's an access. Hatred transforms to renunciation. Whether this is self-hatred, hatred for others, the deep seething, quiet rage. This is something that lives in all of us. We might be reaching for the blissful, sexy vibes, but I don't know if you want to kind of change your lens. Is there anything more blissful and sexy than getting into the raw, smoky character of one's self? I'm just saying. Meditation on that color produces a reddish, effulgent orange, which strengthens the primary instincts and remove the obstacles produced by them. Remember, this is all inverse, the way this science of the colors works. The 8-petaled lotus of smoky violet color represents the eightfold Prakriti in its pre-evolutionary state. 5 petals are the 5 Tan mantras of sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell, from which evolve the 5 elements. From sound is Akash, space. From touch, air. From sight, fire. From taste, water. From smell, earth. The 3 petals are Bindu, Bij, and Nada. Bindu evolves from Gyan, knowledge. Bij evolves from Icha, will. From Nada evolves Kriya, action. This is the science behind Icha, Kriya, Gyan. This is the science behind the sense perception organs. This is the octave of creation before the formation of intellect, ego, and mind, and the 5 elements. The hexagram of two equilateral triangles superimposed on each other, as explained before, is of yellow ochre with a touch of green and white with a touch of black, the color of lifeless, dry earth. Meditation on this color produces shimmering violet and enhances akash, space, which is the color of smoke. The hexagram is set in a very light purple background, which produces the yellow color of light. The bindu in the center of this hexagram is the goddess Dhumavati herself. It's not everybody's journey to go as far as where she is. But for those that want to walk the wrathful path, for those that want to completely cross the shore, you will have to meet her. Because not only do you have to sift and sort through all the karmas, whatever desires you created for yourself must all be completed. Y'all, on some level, way back down here on earth, we need to honor and respect our elders. This is the grandmother ancestor. Our ancestor honoring, our ancestor worship, the honoring and respectfulness of our elders is the practice of Ma Dhumavati. I leave you with this. Gosh, there's so much more to say. I'm going to pop a lot into an essay tomorrow. You can check it out there. We got 3 more goddesses to go, and it doesn't stop blowing your mind from here. I thank you all for listening. I'm going to check you tomorrow. Jai Ma.